Friday. I call it the gateway to the weekend. Thank you very much for joining us this morning on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow 94.9 FM. This is the Flow of God's own state. Interesting conversations we do have here every Monday, every Wednesday, and also every Friday on the Flow of God's own state. Flow 94.9 FM serving you a menu of elevated conversations in a frank, easy, of course, but intellectually stimulating manner. Of course, your dose of opinions with a tinge of seriousness and maturity. The platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, is back on radio. My name is Michael Oni. Apologies for starting behind schedule. We needed to dot our I's and, of course, cross our T's to ensure that we have a fantastic program. This morning, what are we looking at? Interestingly, we're talking politics, but this time around, we're finding a legal background or a legal angle to some of the issues affecting our political parties in the country. Of course, I will be speaking to a legal practitioner later on this morning on the program, the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on the Flow of God's own state, as the People's Democratic Party has called for the removal of Mai Mala Buni as the Yobe State governor. That's because he is in charge of a political party heading the caretaker convention planning committee of the APC, the ruling party in the country. Now, let me just give you a bit of background into what is happening. It's been back and forth following the conduct of that World Congresses and the aftermath of the Supreme Court judgment, which voted 4-3 against the sacking of Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu and the APC. Stakeholders in the party have remained divided as to which path the party should tread with the World Congresses and how to rectify the leadership defects bedeviling the party. And that we will be looking at this morning, of course, as we'll find a legal angle to all this and probably find an explanation to the Supreme Court judgment concerning that, asking where some persons are asking that Mai Mala Buni should step aside. Now, the issues surrounding the Apex Court judgment, the fourth, divided among three tendencies, including those seeking the reinstatement of the sacked National Working Committee of the party without the suspended former national chairman, Adams Oshiomhole, and those who want Buni and other incumbent governors removed from the caretaker planning committee, and those urging for total dissolution of the CECPC, that's the caretaker extraordinary planning committee of the APC. Now, joining me this morning on the program, I have human rights lawyer and the chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association section on public interest and development law, NBA SPIDEL, Dr. Monday Ubani. Glad to have joined us on the program, the platform on Flow FM. Dr. Monday Ubani, good morning to you.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you very much. What do you make of this legal battle that has to deal with the legality of Mai Mala Buni being the chairman of the caretaker extraordinary planning committee, convention planning committee of the APC?
Thank you. That issue came up in the Supreme Court case between Jegede and Akeredolu, the current governor of Ondo State. And the issue that was being determined was whether it is proper for a governor that has been elected under the Constitution can hold another executive position in Nigeria, going by the express provision of the Constitution that says a governor that is elected cannot hold another executive position. So the issue is whether the current position that he is holding is an executive position as so defined by law. The majority of the judges in the Supreme Court were of the opinion that since the Buni himself was not put on notice, he was not a party to the case, they cannot go into the merit of that case. While the other three justices of the Supreme Court were of the firm view that there was no need for Buni to be joined as a party, and they are of the view that there has been a breach in as much as an elected governor was now made and is a holding executive position of chairmanship, whether caretaker or temporary or permanent, as long as that position is executive as so defined by the constitution, also by the constitution of APC, that he has breached that provision of the law, and for which the governor who has been duly elected will be affected. They should have nullified the electoral victory of Akeredolu. But being the fact that it was a majority decision that was in favor of not nullifying the electoral victory of Akeredolu, that was what made that judgment to be in favor of the current governor. Now, it became an issue. People now, became divided. There were legal opinion like from Kayamo, and I also understand the vice president of the country were of the firm view that Buni's position is shaky, that they should remove him and look for a way out.
Even before the conduct of that Congress.
Even before the conduct of the Congress that took place, but the Attorney General of the Federation, who is now acting as the legal advisor of APC also, was of the firm view that there is no need for it, that the Supreme Court decision never in any way will affect his position, that he is not holding an executive position in as much as he is not earning any salary according to them, as long as he is not collecting any salary from the political party, that's the APC.
Or gratification.
So that position, or gratification.
Okay.
To them, so to them, that is not an executive position so defined by the constitution. So that's where we are now. So it's dicey, but I understand that the PDP has gone to court pointedly now to challenge the position of Buni as the caretaker committee chair of APC.
So I want to ask you, what do you make of that Supreme Court judgment, especially the one that didn't reinstate Jagede, because he's asking that the incumbent governor should be sacked, but that is the bone of contention here. What do you make of that Supreme Court judgment, especially that the minority of the judges are saying that he cannot act? I mean, Governor Maimala Buni cannot be holding an executive position and also hold on to another executive position as far as party affairs is concerned.
Well, that's what I've just explained. That it was the minority. Minority was of the opinion that
can it hold?
Can what hold?
Can that hold? I mean, being a minority opinion.
It cannot hold now. No, now you should know now. In jurisprudence, it is the majority decision that holds. So they didn't go into the merit of the case. Remember?
Okay.
The majority of the opinion was of the opinion. The majority four were of the opinion that in as much as Buni was not joined as a party in the case, it will be lack of fair hearing on the part of Buni for them to go ahead and decide, a matter concerning him as to whether he is legitimately there as the executive chairman of APC and at the same time holding a position of the governor. So they were the opinion that they don't want to go into that since the man was not a party. So it's dicey. It's a very dicey situation now for APC, especially when they have knowledge of that case, that it can go either way if they go into the merit, and they still went ahead to hold the Congress. Well, it is now left for the court, to pointedly now specifically make a pronouncement. And so that's why some people are going to, in fact, their members also have gone to court in some of the states and all that to challenge the legality of the Congress that took place on, I say last 2 Saturdays and all that. So it is now left for the courts, to make a definite pronouncement as to the legality of that position. Anything we are doing now is speculative.
Barrister, what are the legal chances, or what are the legal way out for APC assistance now? Because some pundits are predicting implosion of the party with all these legal battles, even from the internal crisis rocking the party, from external forces like PDP. What are the legal chances, legal way out, a way just to find a soft landing for the ruling APC in Nigeria?
What is the legal way out? Already it is Buni now that has conducted virtually everything. If you know the gubernatorial election that is coming up in Anambra in November, it is this administration that actually submitted the name of the aspirant to INEC. Now the Buni himself has also go ahead now to conduct Congress, all over the country. The National Congress is all over the country, despite the hint that was given by the Supreme Court. So I don't know the way out for them. Honestly, I don't know the way out for them. Presently, because it looks a bit dicey. If they had corrected themselves earlier before the Congress, well, you can say there may be a legal way out of it, but they felt that there is nothing wrong. They can go ahead and do whatever they can do and all that. So I don't know. They have their legal advisors. I think their legal advisors should be able to advise
Okay.
them if they.
Interesting.
I'm not their legal advisor,
Okay,
so they should be able to.
but Barrister Monday Ubani, let's take a look at the way parties have been run in Nigeria, especially for both parties, because it looks like the PDP is also going towards that direction of sacking, suspending, whichever way we want to put it, the NWC, the National Working Committee, and use caretaker committees, so to say, to run, to conduct convention. Do you think it's a step in the right direction for the kind of politics that we play in the country?
No, what I think that the parties must adhere to is the provisions of their constitution. Every political party has a constitution that I know, and so if you have a constitution and the constitution has made a provision as to how you should run the affairs of the political party, it will be well advised for political parties to adhere to the provisions of their constitution. They should not run their political party at variance with the constitution they have given to themselves. Also, there is a constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. There are other extant laws that guide our political party system in Nigeria. So the most important thing is for them, but most importantly is their internal constitution. So if PDP now wants to put aside a constituted body that is running the affairs of the political party, which is PDP, are they doing it in accordance with their constitution? If they don't, of course, somebody who is aggrieved as a member can take the matter up, with the judiciary, and the judiciary will be in a position to look at the provisions of their law and to know whether they have complied strictly with it. So my advice to them is to look always at the provisions of their. They have legal advisor, but my problem with all these people, including politicians, is that they don't listen. They don't obey, they don't take advice of their legal advisors. They just put them aside. They just put them there, for the sake of fulfilling all righteousness. But when it comes to quality advice being given by those lawyers, they don't listen to them because politicians feel they always have their way. You see what is happening in Anambra too, where people are going to as far as Jigawa State, which is very close to Niger Republic, to go and source for forum shopping in getting favorable judgment in a matter that probably arose in Anambra State. So that has been the issue. And these are politicians trying to push people who are professionals to do the wrong thing always and all that. So my advice is that they have a constitution. PDP has a constitution. What PDP is planning now to do is in accordance with the provisions of their own constitution. Can they put aside a properly constituted body and now elect an interim to run the administration? Are they not having a convention? Are they not having a congress or world convention sometime is it in December? Why don't they allow the properly constituted body to actually elect new set of leadership that can run their political party and all that? Since they have a constitution, why would they now want to use interim administration for 2 months or even less than a month? Before the main body that will elect leaders. So my advice is for them to adhere to the provisions of their law, just as I will advise APC to look at the provisions of their constitution and listen to their legal advisors actually.
Okay,
In whatever they want to do.
Dr. Monde Ubani, I want to take you on something, especially when it comes to party politics and, of course, our electoral system in the country, the type we run, looking at some legal battles before and after elections, even from primaries. We've had issues with conflicting court judgments, conflicting
Yes.
court injunctions. I don't know
Yes.
who are we to blame. For example, the Congress that took place, talking about that of APC in Abia State, there were two factions, although they will come out and say we do not have factions, but two factions are displaying and showing journalists conflicting court injunctions, restraining,
Mm-hmm.
one restraining, one urging the national body, the headquarters, to accept the list that came out
Mm.
from that World Congress, and one is restraining the national body. So we have issues with this. These court injunctions were from a different judicial council within
Yes.
Abia State. What do you make of this? Is this not an abuse of the law?
It is clearly an abuse, and it's becoming very. Uh, how will I put it now? It's heart-rending. It's clearly appalling that professionals are being totally messed up, by these politicians. We have become like a pawn. We have become like a pawn in their hands, and then they make court injunctions and judgment now look like something you can go and purchase, in the market, in an open market. You go and buy it, pay money, and then you get any manner of injunctions, from our judiciary. And that's why some of us now are insisting that some of these people that are, hell bent on destroying the legal profession itself must be punished. Must be punished, because if you know what happened in Anambra Oka Court of Appeal, where Justice Chioma Iheme Nwosu Iheme was now saying that those judges that gave those decisions, when they knew they had no territorial jurisdiction, should be punished by the NJC. Whereas also lawyers, who actually filed this matter of, these cases in court, knowing fully whether why they were seeking relief, is clearly outside the jurisdiction, should also be disciplined by the disciplinary committee of the Nigerian Bar Association. And I amplify that statement that the moment we begin to punish these professionals that are making the entire Nigeria look like a pond, they are making it look like a market, where you can go and buy anything at any point in time. When punishment is meted out and our laws are enforced, people will begin to sit up. But because we don't enforce our laws, that's why we see all manner of nonsense that is actually flying about in this nation. We don't enforce our laws. We don't even allow things to be done properly. It's clearly an abuse. It's clearly an abuse, because the political any judge that want to make a pronouncement will ask who is a recognized chairman of any political party in a state for them to conduct a congress. Is there no recognized chairman before this issue of fractional election that took place in Abia? Is there no chairman? Was there no chairman recognized by INEC? Why would somebody rush to court and then a court will not make an inquiry, just go ahead and issue? And what do you think that the Nigerian public will think about judiciary? They will look at them as people who are stupid, who are useless, who can be influenced at any point in time. It makes the entire country look like a banana republic, where anything can happen and all that. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world except in Nigeria and some of the African countries, where things happen that are so bizarre and so appalling and so disgracing and disgusting. It's not fair. We're not helping this country, and some of us must be punished. For us to have a country all of us shall be proud of. I'm totally ashamed. But these guys who are doing this are not even ashamed for what they are doing and how they are turning judiciary into a marketplace where you can just go ahead and purchase anything at any point in time. And those judges, most of them who have no character, who have no reputation, are the kind of things we are bringing into the judiciary. People who have no business being in the judicial sector are people you make judges, and probably can go and purchase, ex parte order, and then they think that they are doing the right thing for the nation. But one thing I know is that judgment will certainly fall upon people who are making this country look like a banana republic.
Dr. Mondo Ubani, I'm still staying on that issue. Can we necessarily, do you think we should blame the judges? Can't we just direct our grievances to lawyers? Because if the lawyers didn't avail themselves for such abuse, like you put it, don't you think we will be rotating around? Don't you think we will not be rotating around the same circle, having injunctions?
It would be wrong for anyone to suggest that we should exclude any person, in this blame game. I'm saying, a lawyer comes with an application or with a process, that is clearly fatally flawed, and a judge goes ahead and gives illegality to a flawed process, and you say I should exonerate the judge, and just blame only the lawyers. No, both parties should be blamed. A judge should be in charge of his proceeding, of his court. When somebody comes with a very funny, fatal application or process, a judge should be able to. That is what I told you Justice Iheme Chioma did. He said we cannot continue to tolerate things like this. We are not a banana, republic. We are a country ruled by laws. There are processes, there are procedures. We have what we call procedural rules. We have also substantive laws. Can a judge not look into a process filed by a lawyer that is clearly fatal and tell him that this thing, and even punish? That is what goes on in abroad. When a lawyer does anything that is clearly unethical, judges say they have to sanitize the industry, sanitize this institution, and say no, you cannot get away with this, and even make a pronouncement that this particular, recommend that lawyer for punishment to disciplinary committee. That's what a judge should do. A judge should not in any way fall into the same error that is committed by lawyers. So both parties should be blamed. We should not allow our country to deteriorate. We are creating a country that where our children have no future, they have no basis to have any hope, and they are all leaving the country in droves because they cannot understand how a system works this way. How they can even be part of it. Our children are eager. Immediately they get any admission abroad, and if you now begin to beg them to come back to where? Because they have seen sanity, over there, and they don't want to come back to a country of confusion. And we, the parents, we, the people that are supposed to set the country aright, are the one messing up the entire system. For God's sake, are you telling me that a judge cannot be able to decipher that a process is clearly fatal and clearly flawed, and then tell the lawyer that you come to a wrong place and you cannot come and use me as a judge in order to give legality to an illegal thing? Can't a judge do that? What are you saying? We should blame all parties, my brother.
All right. It is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow 94.9 FM, and we've been speaking with Dr. Monday Ubani. Of course, we're looking at the issue concerning PDP calling for the removal of Mai Mala Buni as the Yobe State governor. And let me return back to the issue, Dr. Monday. What is the constitutional provision, especially for executive governors? What is the constitution saying occupying executive offices outside their statutory position? I think we should let us into that, then we delve into this issue deeper.
I've said it in passing before. A governorship position is a full-time position.
Okay.
It's clearly tasking when you are elected to go and serve the people, and then you are now being distracted by another executive position, whether you are being paid or not. I understand that Buni is elected as a governor of a Yobo state. For the past 2 years now, he has been made the acting chairperson. He is permanently in Abuja. The people that is elected to govern are suffering because he's here running the affairs of a political party. It was supposed to be a temporary thing, but they keep on extending, and they want to probably make him remain the chairman until the election of 2023 if care is not taken and all that. This somebody that is elected for the first time in the state and has never sat down to do that duty. So the constitution, I think either in 183 or section 183 or thereabout, made it expressly clear that the governor that is elected to serve his people has no business holding another executive position. I also understand that the APC political constitution, their constitution also expressly exclude anyone that is holding any position, a political position, to hold any executive position in the political parties there. So if they have those two provisions of the law, why would a political party now err? And then even if it's for a temporary period, they now make it look as if it's permanent. They keep on renewing his tenure whenever he expires. It's supposed to be a caretaker for a few months and all that. But
PDP has gone to court asking Federal High Court in Abuja to effect the removal of Governor Mai Mala Buni. Do you call that a smart move, or they should have held on till around the election period, maybe the 2023 general election period, or this is the right time to challenge such decision of the APC at the court of law?
I don't know what is the interest of PDP in doing this when, to me, it's a bit hasty for them to have, I don't know whether they have locals, because I think it could have been members of the same political party that may have the locals and all that, but we keep on expanding our jurisprudence. They want to try. If we were in their position, I would have allowed the APC to keep on making their decision and we wait until they commit this. But PDP, their own house is not in order. You also discover that they're having a leadership issue. Are you following me?
I'm getting you, barrister.
I hope they will be able to set their own right, but they're now looking beyond their shoulder to other political parties to now carry their own matter, as their, they think that I think that shouldn't at this point in time concern them until maybe there is a fatal error or election comes in where somebody has been elected. They can challenge the electoral success of that person based upon the fact that the governor himself had no right to have acted as as a chairperson of the political party. That is what I expected them to have. But they are preemptive. They have gone to court. So I would rather not want to decipher what will be the decision of the court,
Right.
because that will be it's clearly
Subjudice.
within sub judice now. So
All
it's for
right.
the court now to determine whether they are right, in that.
But I want to really appreciate your analysis this morning, Dr. Monday Ubani. We do thank you very much. And of course, return to you as far as this issue is concerned. Thank you very much for joining
It
us.
will always be my pleasure at any point in time to be of service to your station.
We do appreciate you. Well, that's Barrister Monday Ubani, human rights lawyer, the chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association section on public interest and development law. That's SPIDEL, Dr. Monday Ubani. We take a break now. When we return, I'm going to throw the lines open for you to share your thoughts concerning the conversation. Of course, the topic of discussion today on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow 94.9 FM, as the PDP is calling for the removal of Mai Mala Buni as the Yobe State Governor. Stay tuned. At Flow 94.9 FM, we've got conducive and well-secured environment for business. High-tech video studio, a state-of-the-art production studio. You can also listen live on www.flow949fm.com and watch our videos on YouTube at Flow FM TV. Flow 94.9 FM, not just radio, but a complete broadcasting house. All right, thank you very much for staying tuned. It is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow 94.9 FM Friday edition. Of course, the lines are very much open. Of course, the feedback channels are very much open, from the social media page to the phone lines and also the SMS line 0808 182 6949 0811 605 2949. Also drop messages on 0906 510 8289. Don't forget that we're also live on Facebook. You can drop your comments there. Flow 949 FM. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Michael.
You're welcome, Mr. Prince Will.
Thank you so much. I still remember Mr. Prince Will Oswago from here, no Monaco.
All right.
Mike, I think what our doctor, Dr. Bani, has said it all. In the eye of the law, what APC did was wrong. And equally, the Supreme Court has dealt with the matter, especially. The substance of the matter is this: can somebody cross a bridge with two legs? The answer is no. The Buni is crossing a bridge with two legs. APC, my fear is this: under the eye of the law, what PDP went to the court or goes to the court now is quite right. But in Nigerian jurisprudence, my brother, I'm afraid, just take some courses like what happened in Imo North electoral election. And this one, what happened in my state, Imo State. The substance of the matters have not been treated. But here, they look into the technicality, which I don't see as anything. So for judiciary to be straightforward, let them treat the substance first, so as to correct all anomalies in Nigeria.
All right, Mr. Princeville, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. Keep your calls coming, keep your messages coming. 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. Well, this may not be the best of times for the Governor Progressive Congress, so enmeshed in some legal battles and, of course, interpretations are needed. You heard that from Barrister Monday Ubani earlier when we had that conversation concerning the legality of Mai Mala Buni's led caretaker committee. Of course, there is a reconciliation also already, reconciliation of various aggrieved members across the party. This reconciliation effort, which initially attracted applause from members of the party, dwindled with cases of factions in many state chapters. Anyway, so let's get more reactions on the phone lines. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform.
Good morning.
You're welcome, Ikechukwu.
Well, Then I think the issue here is our judicial system. Elsewhere in the world, if we are having an issue, a case, before and the case is being mentioned in the court, no other court should entertain that case. Just like what is there happening in Nigeria now, there is a matter where Abba Kaure is mentioned, and they want to start panel here. It's not wrong. It's wrong. It's very wrong. You understand? I think they usually should sanitize themselves. Then secondly, in the party, inter-party politics, let me give you my Abia State here as a case study. Before the Ojizo Carlo faction joined APC, Chief American had been the holder of the APC structure. Then you now ask, how do the Ojizo Carlo faction become aware of the leadership of the party? Because of Oshomole bad system of managing the party system that time. Because if you still go to court will still give you structure to Medicaid, because this one, if you want to remove a particular leadership of a party, you must follow a due process, which is congresses and convention. That is where the party leadership structure is change. You don't just wake up overnight. You 2 days say you dissolve. You know, that's the solution. What time you work with them, because leadership of the party might have corrupted, might have been corrupt with some money. So when you dissolve it, they keep silent to avoid being prosecuted.
Thank you for sharing.
But if they went to court to challenge it, the right thing should be done.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome, Ugonna Eric.
Thank you, Mr. Michael.
How is Olokoro this morning?
Yes, I'm talking from Olokoro.
All right, great.
Olokoro is fine, and the weather is very, very clement today.
All right.
At least at the time being. Let me appreciate Barrister Monday Obani. You know, while I was in Lagos, at least I appeared on a very TV show with him, the likes of Malaki Gumade, Wale Guade, and some other very intelligent, bright minds. When they speak, you know, they talk truth to power. Let me even draw your mind about the back last night when you were doing your this platform or what
State of the Nation in the evening.
Last night.
Yes, State of the Nation.
That the APC, about 12 to 15 states, are currently in court over their recently, will I now say concluded or held, or assumed to have been held state, whatever, world congresses. 15 out of how many in Nigeria in court, and still counting. And there was a time we delved in a program and I asked people, are we really in a democracy? Why don't we call it courtocracy? Because it's the court that determines virtually 80% of all elected positions in Nigeria since the inception from 1999 to today. You see people who do not put their acts in order. They come and have the factions divided, the issues, fight, water quarrel, and before you know it, somebody will emerge. And that one that has a match, another will be in court, and another will be in court. Before you know it, the court will rule. Sometimes they comply with what the court says, sometimes they will not comply, and it continues like that. And all of a sudden, it has lingered up until this moment. From the time of John Odigi Oyego and how, you know, Shomole came into the scene, you know, upstaged him, took over, and then they also plotted away, removed him, they put in caretaker, and then they say, and all it has been like that, up and down. You will be wondering, why are we like this? And that is one of the major reasons why you have not had steady democracy, steady governance structure in Nigeria. You know, things are going haywire on economic front, political front, financial front, everywhere, because we have not really got our acts in order. It's the same thing. That's why when you told me, I asked Mr. Banning, is it too early or not doing for? You wonder what is even in the interest of the PDP. Their own house is not also in order. That's the truth. They are just stratifying it here and there. So the two big political parties are not doing well. Unfortunately, we do not have a third angle to the thing. A stronger force that will outstage both PDP and the APC and then give us good governance. It is a pity what we are doing. It's all about interest, all about position, all about money. Sit down, get things in order, and things will fall in place naturally. But they keep rigmaroling from bush to the road to bush again, up and down. They are really not getting it. All I wish that the laws will take its course, and then prohibit them from even further functioning, and then we'll have what we call
Eric.
democratic parties in Nigeria, and we'll move away from this shenanigans that he has been playing out up until this moment. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Have a nice day. Well, on the SMS line, on the Facebook page, we've got messages there that I may run through just before we step out of the studio this morning. Also, Francis Omaga saying, watching from Amanguze in Enugu. Greetings here. Hello, good morning to you. That didn't pull through. Christiana Akajiako, my people, good morning. That's on Facebook. And Engineer Jamilu Abubakar Tola, all the way from Adamawa State, is saying good morning also. Dunwabweze Lock is saying good morning, and Prince Gash here on the Facebook page is saying good morning also. Thank you for following on Facebook. We do appreciate you. Let's do one for the road before we step out of the studio this morning. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael.
You're welcome.
Sonny Arthur is my name.
All right, Mr. Sonny Arthur. All right.
You see, it is not about the judges or the judiciary. The entire system is corrupt. So we don't have to blame the judges alone. Go to the police station. Before you get justice here, you'll be frustrated. Look at what is happening in national chambers. How some bills are hastily passed into law, regardless of the legality. So it is not about the judges. They only see this as an opportunity to take part of the national cake. So we have to sanitize the whole system. Nigeria is waiting. Thank you, Mr.
All right. Thank you very much, Sonny Arthur. Well, we do appreciate you for joining us this morning on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions. The last edition for the week. That's a Friday edition. This one says, good morning, Michael. Please ask Barrister if the same case does not apply to a governor who is also the chairman of the Governors Forum, another political office. Undu from Umahia. Well, maybe I will ask about that later on and return to you. Barrister is off already. But we do appreciate you for following this morning the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions. The program returns on Monday. Many thanks to my producer Samson Eze and the guys behind the visuals you're watching on our Facebook page, Solomon and Stanley. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Stay out of trouble. Very important. My name is Michael Oni.